Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to the John and Lily podcast.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lily, and this is my co-host, John. We're super excited to have you with us today.
That's right. And you know what? Today's episode is going to be incredibly useful. We're diving into something you'll encounter everywhere: daily conversations.
Exactly. We've created 2 authentic conversations that you're definitely going to hear in real life. Whether you're at a coffee shop, talking to neighbors, or just chatting with friends, these are the kinds of exchanges that happen every single day.
And here's what makes this episode special. After listening to these conversations, we'll break them down together. We'll explore the vocabulary, the natural expressions, and those little phrases that native speakers use all the time.
And don't forget to check out the episode description. You'll find a PDF with the complete transcript and some practical exercises to help you practice what you learned today.
Before we jump in, we want to remind you of something important. Learning English is a journey, and every step you take matters.
Absolutely. Whether you're just starting out or you've been studying for years, remember that progress happens one conversation at a time. You're already doing something amazing by listening to this podcast.
So grab your headphones, get comfortable, and let's explore these everyday conversations together. Trust us, by the end of this episode, you'll feel much more confident about those daily chats in English. Ready? Let's get started with our first conversation.
Excuse me, could you help me find something?
Of course, I'd be happy to assist you. What are you looking for today?
Well, I'm trying to locate the organic produce section. I've been wandering around for about 10 minutes, but I can't seem to spot it anywhere.
No worries. That happens all the time. We actually reorganized the store layout last month. The organic fruits and vegetables are now in aisle 7, right next to the regular produce section. Just head straight down this main walkway and you'll see it on your left.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Actually, while I have you here, I'm also searching for some specialty ingredients for tonight's dinner. Do you carry quinoa and coconut milk?
Absolutely. You'll find quinoa in the health food aisle, that's aisle 12. We stock several varieties, red, white, and tricolor quinoa. As for coconut milk, we have both the canned version and the refrigerated cartons. The canned coconut milk is in aisle 8 with the international foods, and the drinking coconut milk is in the dairy section.
Brilliant. You're incredibly knowledgeable. I'm impressed by how well you know the store layout. How long have you been working here?
Thanks. I've been with the company for about 3 years now. I started as a part-time cashier while finishing college, and now I'm a department supervisor. I genuinely enjoy helping customers navigate the store and discover new products.
That's wonderful. Speaking of new products, I noticed some interesting items in your bakery section earlier. Do you bake everything fresh daily?
Most definitely. Our bakers arrive at 4 in the morning to ensure we have fresh bread, pastries, and cakes throughout the day. We're particularly proud of our sourdough bread and croissants. Have you tried our weekend special? It's a chocolate-filled croissant that's become quite popular among our regular customers.
Ooh, that sounds tempting. I'm actually trying to eat healthier, though. Do you have any whole grain options or sugar-free desserts?
Absolutely. We cater to various dietary preferences and restrictions. In our bakery, we offer whole wheat bread, multigrain muffins, and several sugar-free options, including cookies made with natural sweeteners. There's also a dedicated gluten-free section, if that's something you're interested in.
Fantastic! My sister is visiting next week, and she's been following a gluten-free diet recently. I'll definitely check that out. One more question. I noticed your store stays open quite late. What are your operating hours?
We're open from 6 in the morning until midnight, 7 days a week. However, some departments, like the pharmacy and deli counter, have slightly different schedules. The pharmacy closes at 9 on weekdays and 7 on weekends, while our deli stays open until 11:30.
That's incredibly convenient. I work late shifts at the hospital, so knowing I can shop after my evening shifts is really helpful. Oh, and I almost forgot. Do you happen to know if you're running any promotions this week?
Actually, yes, we have several ongoing deals. All organic produce is 20% off through Sunday, and we're offering buy two, get one free on selected frozen meals. Plus, if you download our mobile app, you'll get access to exclusive digital coupons and earn points for future purchases.
Excellent! I should definitely download that app. You've been tremendously helpful today. I really appreciate you taking the time to answer all my questions so thoroughly.
It's absolutely my pleasure. That's what we're here for. Customer service is our top priority. If you need any assistance while shopping today, don't hesitate to find me or any of my colleagues.
Perfect. Well, I'd better get started on my shopping list before it gets too crowded in here. Thanks again for everything.
You're very welcome. Enjoy your shopping and have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. Take care.
Wow, that was a fantastic example of a real supermarket conversation. Did you notice how naturally it flowed, Lily?
Absolutely. And there's so much we can learn from it. Let's start with how Sarah asked for help. She said, "Excuse me, could you help me find something?" That's excellent. It's polite, direct, and gets straight to the point.
Exactly. And here's a key tip for our listeners. When asking for help in a store, always start with "excuse me" or "sorry to bother you." Never just say "where is" without any politeness marker. It can sound rude.
Great point. I also loved how Jake responded with, "Of course, I'd be happy to assist you." Notice he didn't just say yes or "what do you need?" He used enthusiastic language that made Sarah feel welcome. That brings us to some essential supermarket vocabulary.
John used locate instead of just find. That's more sophisticated. He also said she was wandering around and couldn't spot the section. These verbs make your English sound more natural than just saying, "I can't find it."
And did you catch the phrase, "while I have you here"? That's such a useful expression. It means since we're already talking, and it's perfect for asking additional questions without starting a completely new conversation.
Brilliant observation. Now, let's talk about something interesting. Jake mentioned they reorganized the store layout. This is super common in supermarkets, and it's good to know this vocabulary. You might also hear renovated, rearranged, or updated the floor plan.
Speaking of vocabulary, there were some excellent B2 level words in there. Specialty ingredients, dietary restrictions, operating hours, and exclusive digital coupons. These are exactly the terms you'll encounter in real shopping situations.
And here's something crucial. Notice how Sarah asked about store hours. She said, "What are your operating hours?" instead of "when do you close?" The first one sounds more professional and shows better English skills.
Absolutely. And Jake's response was just right, too. He gave complete information, opening and closing times, plus special hours for different departments. That's very typical in North American and British supermarkets.
Now, let's discuss some do's and don'ts. Do use phrases like, "I'm looking for," "could you help me locate," or "do you happen to know?" These sound polite and natural.
And don't be too direct or demanding. Never say things like, "I need this now," or "find this for me." It's also avoid saying, "I want." It's better to say, "I'm looking for," or "I need to find." Here's another interesting detail. Sarah said, "I'm impressed by how well you know the store layout." That's a lovely compliment. Showing appreciation for good service is always welcome, and it often leads to even better help.
Exactly. And notice the employee used "most definitely" instead of just "yes." Native speakers often use emphatic responses like this, along with "absolutely" or "for sure." It makes you sound more enthusiastic and natural.
Let's talk about typical supermarket phrases you should memorize. For asking directions, "where can I find?" "Is there a section?" "Could you point me toward?" These are much better than just "where is."
And for employees helping you, you'll often hear, "It's located in aisle," "You'll find it next to," "Just head down this way," "It's right around the corner." These directional phrases are super useful.
Here's something really important. Sarah asked about promotions by saying, "Do you happen to know if you're running any promotions?" The phrase, "do you happen to know," is incredibly polite and sounds very natural. It's much better than, "are there any sales?"
And Jake mentioned digital coupons and mobile app. This is very current vocabulary. Modern shopping involves a lot of technology, so terms like scan, download, points, and rewards are essential.
One more thing. Did you notice how they ended the conversation? Both said, "take care," which is a friendly, casual way to say goodbye. Other good options are, "have a great day," or "enjoy your shopping," or simply, "see you later."
Great. And remember, listeners, confidence is key. Even if you make small mistakes, being polite and friendly will always work in your favor. Store employees are usually very patient with non-native speakers.
Absolutely. Practice these phrases at home and don't be afraid to use them. Shopping is actually a great way to practice English because the conversations follow predictable patterns.
That's so true. And remember, every conversation is practice. The more you use these expressions, the more natural they'll become. You've got this. Now, listeners, let's move on to the second conversation. Let's go. Conversation 2. At the coffee shop.
Good morning. This place smells absolutely amazing. Is this your first time working here?
Good morning. Actually, I've been here for about 6 months now, but I just transferred from the evening shift to mornings. I'm still getting used to the early crowd. What can I get started for you today?
Oh, that explains why I haven't seen you before. I'm usually here around this time grabbing coffee before work. I'm having trouble deciding though. What would you recommend for someone who loves strong coffee but wants to try something different?
If you enjoy bold flavors, I definitely suggest our signature cold brew. We steep it for 16 hours, so it's incredibly smooth yet packed with caffeine. Or, if you're feeling adventurous, our Ethiopian single origin pour-over is exceptional today. It has these beautiful chocolate and berry notes.
Wow, you really know your coffee. I'm intrigued by the Ethiopian option. How long does a pour-over typically take? I don't want to be late for my meeting.
The pour-over takes about 4 to 5 minutes, but I can start it right away if you'd like. Alternatively, I could prepare it to go, and it'll be perfectly ready by the time you need to leave. What time is your meeting?
It's at 9:30, so I have about 20 minutes.
Perfect. Let's go with the Ethiopian pour-over then. And could I also get one of those delicious-looking pastries? What's that flaky one in the display case?
Excellent choice on the coffee. That pastry is our homemade almond croissant. It's been flying off the shelves this morning. We bake them fresh daily, and the almond cream filling is made in-house. Would you like it warmed up?
Absolutely. That sounds divine. You know, I've been coming to this coffee shop for almost 2 years, and I'm always impressed by the quality. Do you roast your own beans here?
Thank you. Actually, we partner with a local roastery about 15 minutes away. They deliver fresh beans twice a week, and we work closely with them to develop our signature blends. It's part of what makes our coffee so distinctive compared to the big chain stores.
That's fantastic. I love supporting local businesses. Speaking of which, do you live in this neighborhood? I'm always curious about the people who work in my favorite spots.
I do. I moved here about 8 months ago from Seattle. The coffee culture there is incredible, but I'm really enjoying the community feel here. Everyone seems to know each other, and the regular customers are genuinely friendly. Are you from around here originally?
Born and raised. I've watched this area transform over the years. It used to be pretty quiet, but now there are so many interesting shops and restaurants. This coffee shop has become the heart of the neighborhood.
I think I can definitely see that. Even in my short time here, I've noticed how people treat this place like a second home. Some customers come in, grab their usual order, and end up chatting with friends for hours. It creates such a warm atmosphere.
Oh my goodness, that aroma is incredible. You weren't kidding about those chocolate notes.
The pour-over really brings out the best in these beans. Here we go. 1 Ethiopian single origin and your warmed almond croissant. The total comes to $12.50.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the recommendation. I have a feeling this is going to become my new regular order.
I hope you enjoy it. And hey, if you're ever interested in trying our weekend special drinks, we do some creative seasonal beverages. This Saturday, we're introducing a lavender honey latte that's been getting rave reviews during our test runs.
Ooh, that sounds intriguing. I'll definitely stop by this weekend to give it a try. Thanks for being so welcoming and knowledgeable. You've made my morning.
My pleasure. That's what we're here for. Enjoy your coffee, have a great meeting, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks again. Have a wonderful rest of your shift.
What a delightful coffee shop conversation. That interaction between Emma and Marcus felt so natural and friendly. Did you notice how it started, John?
Absolutely. Emma opened with a compliment. This place smells absolutely amazing, which is such a great conversation starter. It's positive, engaging, and shows genuine interest in the environment. That's a perfect way to begin any casual interaction.
Exactly. And then she asked, "Is this your first time working here?" That's brilliant because it shows she's a regular customer and creates an immediate connection. When you're building relationships with service staff, showing that you notice and care about them as individuals makes all the difference.
I loved Marcus's response too. He shared just enough personal information. I've been here for about 6 months, and I just transferred from the evening shift, without oversharing. That's perfect customer service communication. He was friendly, but maintained professional boundaries.
Now let's talk about asking for recommendations. Emma said, "What would you recommend for someone who loves strong coffee but wants to try something different?" This is so much better than just saying, "What's good here?" She gave specific information about her preferences, which helped Marcus give a targeted suggestion.
And Marcus's response was exceptional. He didn't just list menu items. He explained the process, we steep it for 16 hours, and described the flavors, chocolate and berry notes. When you're working in customer service, providing context and details shows expertise and helps customers make confident decisions.
Here's some essential coffee shop vocabulary our listeners should know: cold brew, single origin, pour over, steep, and roastery. These terms are commonly used in modern coffee culture, especially in specialty shops. Don't be intimidated by them. They're just part of coffee terminology.
I also noticed Emma asked a practical question. How long does a pour-over typically take? This shows great time management skills. When you're in a hurry, it's perfectly fine to ask about timing. Marcus handled it beautifully by offering alternatives and asking about her schedule.
The phrase, "I'm intrigued by," is sophisticated vocabulary that our B2 and C1 listeners should definitely use. It sounds much more natural than "I'm interested in" and shows genuine curiosity. Other similar expressions include "I'm drawn to" or "that catches my attention."
Let's discuss compliments and appreciation. Emma said, "You really know your coffee," and later, "I'm always impressed by the quality." Giving genuine compliments creates positive interactions and often leads to better service. But remember, be specific and authentic, not generic.
Something interesting happened when Emma asked about the business model. She said, "Do you roast your own beans here?" This shows engagement beyond just ordering. When you ask about how businesses operate, it demonstrates genuine interest and often leads to more meaningful conversations.
And Marcus shared information about their local partnership, which is very common in community-focused businesses. Vocabulary like local roastery, signature blends, and distinctive are great for describing unique business practices. This type of conversation helps you understand local culture too.
The personal questions were handled perfectly. Emma asked, "Do you live in this neighborhood?" And Marcus shared appropriate details about moving from Seattle and enjoying the community. This shows how casual conversations can become more personal while staying comfortable for both people.
I loved the cultural exchange aspect. Emma shared her local knowledge, born and raised, and I've watched this area transform, while Marcus offered an outsider perspective. This type of conversation happens constantly in multicultural communities and helps build understanding between different backgrounds.
Let's talk about sensory language. Emma said, "Oh my goodness, that aroma is incredible." Using sensory descriptions like aroma, divine, and appreciating chocolate notes makes conversations more vivid and engaging. Don't just say it's good, describe what you experience.
And the ending was perfect too. Marcus mentioned the weekend special, lavender honey latte, which keeps customers engaged and gives them a reason to return. Emma responded enthusiastically, which encourages future interactions. Both people left the conversation feeling positive and connected.
Here are some key phrases for coffee shop interactions. What would you recommend? How long does that take? Could I get that warmed up? What's that in the display case? These are much more natural than just pointing and saying, "I want that one."
And for complimenting service, you really know your stuff. Thanks for the recommendation. You've made my morning. These expressions show appreciation and create positive relationships with service providers.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of John and Lily. We've just explored two incredibly useful conversations that happen in everyday life, shopping at the supermarket and ordering at a coffee shop.
I hope you noticed how much practical vocabulary and natural expressions we covered today. From asking for help politely to making small talk with service staff, these conversations show you exactly how English is used in real-world situations.
The key takeaway from today's episode is this. Successful conversations aren't just about perfect grammar or extensive vocabulary. They're about being genuinely interested in other people, showing appreciation for good service, and creating positive interactions wherever you go.
Exactly. Both Sarah and Emma were successful communicators because they were polite, specific about their needs, asked thoughtful questions, and showed genuine appreciation. These social skills are just as important as language skills when it comes to effective communication.
Let's recap some essential strategies for daily conversations. First, always start with polite phrases like, "Excuse me, could you help me?" or "I was wondering if." Second, be specific about what you need rather than being vague. Third, show interest in the people helping you. They're human beings, not just service providers.
And remember to use those wonderful expressions we highlighted. While I have you here, I'm intrigued by, do you happen to know, and what would you recommend? These phrases make your English sound natural and sophisticated.
Don't forget about the cultural aspects either. In English-speaking countries, small talk with service staff is completely normal and appreciated. Asking about their day, complimenting their knowledge, or sharing brief personal information creates friendly connections and often leads to better service.
This week, we encourage you to practice the phrases we discussed today. Try repeating them out loud. Use them in your own example sentences, or imagine how you'd use them in real situations. The more you practice, the more natural they'll feel.
And please download that PDF transcript. It contains all the conversations, our complete analysis, and additional exercises to help you practice. We also want to remind you that making mistakes is completely normal and expected when learning a language. Both Jape and Marcus in today's conversations would have been patient and helpful even if Sarah and Emma had made grammatical errors or used incorrect vocabulary. The important thing is communication and connection.
Speaking of connection, we love hearing from our listeners. Send us your own conversation experiences, questions about specific situations, or suggestions for future episodes.
For our next episode, we'd love to hear from you. What topics would you like us to cover? Maybe phone conversations, daily situations, or something else you're curious about. Please share your suggestions so we can bring you the content that's most useful for you.
Until then, keep practicing, keep listening, and most importantly, keep having conversations. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to improve your English and connect with others.
Thanks for joining us today on John and Lily. We're so proud of your commitment to learning English, and we're here to support you every step of the way.
Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Happy learning.
Summary. In this comprehensive and highly practical episode of the John and Lily podcast, the hosts expertly guide English learners through the nuances of everyday conversations, using two detailed, real-life scenarios to build listener confidence and linguistic competence. The episode is structured to first present authentic dialogues and then deconstruct them, offering invaluable insights into vocabulary, natural expressions, and cultural norms. The first conversation takes place in a supermarket between a customer, Sarah, and a knowledgeable employee, Jake. It showcases how to politely ask for assistance, inquire about product locations like the organic produce section or specialty items such as quinoa, and seek information on store policies, operating hours, and ongoing promotions. The dialogue is rich with sophisticated yet practical language, including phrases like, "while I have you here," "dietary restrictions," and "exclusive digital coupons," demonstrating how to interact effectively and politely in a service environment. The second conversation unfolds in a coffee shop between a regular customer, Emma, and a barista, Marcus, highlighting the art of friendly, engaging small talk. It begins with a genuine compliment and evolves into a discussion about coffee recommendations, with Marcus explaining the features of an Ethiopian single-origin pour-over with chocolate and berry notes. This exchange beautifully illustrates how to ask for personalized suggestions, manage time constraints, and build a rapport by showing interest in the local business and the barista's own background. The hosts, John and Lily, then meticulously analyze both dialogues, pointing out key strategies for success. They emphasize the importance of politeness markers like "excuse me" and "could you," the value of being specific in requests, and the power of showing genuine appreciation. Furthermore, they delve into the cultural aspect of such interactions in English-speaking countries, where friendly small talk with service staff is not only normal but encouraged as a way to foster community and ensure positive experiences. Ultimately, the episode serves as a masterclass in moving beyond textbook grammar to achieve real-world communication. John and Lily empower listeners by reinforcing that successful conversations hinge on a combination of specific language skills, such as using natural phrases, descriptive vocabulary, and polite inquiries, and crucial social skills like curiosity, friendliness, and a willingness to connect. The overarching message is one of encouragement. Every daily interaction, whether buying groceries or ordering coffee, is a valuable opportunity to practice and improve. By downloading the accompanying transcript and actively using the phrases and strategies discussed, learners can feel equipped and confident to navigate these common situations, making tangible progress in their English language journey, one conversation at a time.